Depart from my evil, apply your mind to wisdom. It's life or death. If you don't repent tonight, then in your sin you will die. The Most High is no fool. He knows just what you're doing. In the dark, no more wicked excuses. Come back to the Lord, don't be foolish. Running around like I'm crazy, feel regret every day. And I know that I want to throw everything away. All eyes on me, I'm the light of the world. If I could just get it right and mix it up like a swirl, I wanna get closer, closer towards you. But instead I just close all the doors on you. You gotta be down right in order to come up. Gotta make it sound right. Don't know why I'm caught up in my feelings. Don't know why I did it, and I know my word is all I got. Stop living so shady, or else you'll go crazy. Must repent and do his will to get back on track. I heard him say, come back, come back, come back, 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 come back, come back, come back, 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 come back, come back, come back, 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 come back, come back, come back, back, back. You got problems, that's right, and I got problems, that's right. If you just listen, that's right, this world will solve, that's right. Gotta get back now, to who we were, and fulfill our purpose, that's right, and reverse the curses. I wanna get closer, closer towards you, but instead I just close all the doors on you. You gotta be down right in order to come up. Gotta make it sound right. Don't know why I'm caught up in my feelings. Don't know why I did it, and I know my word is all I got. Stop living so shady, or else you'll go crazy. Must repent and do his will to get back on track. I heard him say, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, 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 come back, come back, come back, 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 come back, come back, come back, 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 come back, come back,
Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. Peace and blessing to the chosen. This song was by One Lily, One Dove called Come Back. I found it on Spotify probably a year or so ago. One of my favorite songs of the truth. I pray everything is good with each and every one of you, everybody who tuning in, everybody who will tune in. I pray the Sabbath for you was a blessing. I pray the week was prosperous. I'm praying for the strength of the families who have suffered from losses this week. Brothers and sisters who have been, you moved to a new city, you probably feeling lonely. You haven't seen your family members in a long time. People who feeling depressed, oppressed. You're going through situations where, like court dates coming up and different types of stuff. Sicknesses, praying that those be removed, bodies be healed. That the Father is working out situations and more than anything, increasing our understanding, our knowledge and wisdom of what He's requiring of us. and how to move and navigate through the different situations that's placed before us or that we be placed in. I pray that Satan be bound. He have no rulership, no authority, no power, or none whatsoever over us unless we give it to him. Uh, Praying for more mercy. Some that had wrecks, you know what I mean, this week. My all praise to the Most High for the protection, for saving the souls alive from those terrible situations. They come with a lot of stuff, man. You know, traumatized and people don't have insurance. You know, you got to pay for to have the car fixed and whatever else. You know what I mean? Even court can come a part of that as well. Those who may be dealing with suicidal thoughts, I'm praying that the Most High deliver you from it to understand that you matter. Each person matter. You know, one person can change everything. We know that from the Messiah. We know that from just, you know, in some of our lives, you know, coming up from children and just being exposed to different people, our parents, neighbors, aunties, uncles. They probably said something to us. You know what I'm saying? That cut us in our soul, that made us feel like we were less than or weren't worthy of certain things. And it stuck with us through our life. So one person makes a big difference. It can impact so many people. But those who might be dealing with suicidal thoughts, feel like you don't matter, I'm letting you know you matter. We need you. All right, all praise and glory and honor goes to the Most High, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the seas and everything that's in them. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name he changed to Israel, the Father lights, the Ancient of Days, off the muscle. Every time we got to give the glory, the honor, and the praise to the Most High. You know what I mean? No flesh glory in his sight. Let him be the truth and every man a liar. That's who it's about. That's the focus, the Father. All right, ain't worry about no gainsayers and all that. But what I wanted to talk about today, family, what was on my spirit was to address something that goes on amongst us within a nation. And not even just within a nation of what we call the truth. We do have to, I feel like one thing also to be considered is that we need to get away from the mindset of thinking that it's all about the truth is just going to specifically be something that you can box in. That's controversial for some people. But if I tell you that, you know, my name is Paisley, we won't find it in the scriptures. So I'm trying to give you a simple example. We won't find it in the scriptures, but yet and still is the truth. So truth don't have a boundary. And that's what we want to bring in. Of course, the foundation of all truth gonna be the scriptures, gonna be the Most High. That's what we're trying to direct the people back to. All right, but nonetheless, the truth is that respect the person goes along. It happens a lot in the truth, out the truth, in families, in friendships, in relationships, whether it's parents and children, siblings, friends, best friends, so on and so forth. And the respect the person thing is terrible, all right, because it stunts the growth. It's not being real. You know what I mean? It's not practicing equity and you know everybody being treated equally. You know what I mean? It's about favoritism. It's about you know, you be appeasing this person who they might be wrong and wicked. You know what I mean? Or you keeping your mouth closed for this person in regards to the next person. You feel like you want to bash and beat this person down. You're gonna give it to them raw. You're gonna give it to them straight. You're gonna always have something to say. You're gonna always check them. But when it comes to this person, you silent. You don't want to, you're not gonna bring that same energy. You're not gonna have the same approach because it's your best friend. Or, you know, like within parenting, many cases from a father's standpoint, some fathers, they hard on their sons than their daughters. They say, okay, this is my baby. I love her. She's so sweet. But really, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be you hard on your son, you're hard on your daughter too. Because one thing about the adversary, one thing about Satan, he don't have a respect of persons, as we know that the Father don't. And what I'm saying is, Satan don't care who he swindled. He don't care what soul he drive to hell. You know what I'm saying? Or who he convinced to go to the lake of fire with him in judgment. He don't care about that. Young, old, pretty, heavy set, fit, sick, perfect health, brown, Edomite or whatever. He don't care what you is or how you is. He just wants souls. So understanding that that's the mindset that your enemy have when it comes to presenting truth, we have to have that same mindset. No matter who it is or how they is, you still got to present the truth. Now, one of the things that come in is how we present it, the approach. You know what I mean? How you bring it out. You could come. Some people feel like you need to come a little more soft, or some people feel like you need to come a little more hardcore. But nonetheless, the truth is supposed to be presented. So with the respective persons, the goal tonight, family, is to, for us to understand it, man. Everybody is special, but ain't nobody special. For the people who understand it, everybody is special, but ain't nobody so special till they above correction. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody so terrible today that they can't be actually shown love. I'm not gonna, and I say that kind of loosely. So let me get a quick definition before we jump into it. Respective persons, what does that mean? What are we talking about? Let me get a quick definition. All right, I'll read this one from BibleTools.org. Let's see. Quickly, it says, this term rendered variously as partiality, favoritism, respect of persons, servile regard, and snobbery. So what it's telling us is that because I'm your best friend, when you see me doing wrong or anything of that case, it don't even have to be something wrong. You gonna be a little more patient with me. You sweep a lot of the things that I do under the rug, and it shouldn't be like that. People go to court. The judge might know this person or know his parents or know somebody around them, and say, well, you know what? I'm gonna give you a slap on the wrist for what you've done. We see this all the time. The respected person is, we see this within the system that's failed us continuously after time. Quick example. The penalties that one would get for having a melanated skin or being an Israelite is not always the same with other races. And I'm not saying this from a biased standpoint. I'm saying this from a factual standpoint. You see, the police pull up on somebody, melanated person, and they are automatically hostile, ready to kill this person, ready to take them to jail, to use brute force and aggression. But different cases where it's a Caucasian waving a pistol at the police. They have not yet even drawn their guns to subdue this person. What's that about? Respect of persons. It's a thing about favoritism. It's about, okay, this person, you already got a certain mindset about this person to give them, to be more patient with them, to be less aggressive with them, so on and so forth. All right, well, let's jump into it, man. Deuteronomy 10, let's get the word in. Deuteronomy chapter 10. Write it down. If you haven't got your highlighters, your pen, pencils, and something to write on, get it now. Because anything that we talk about, I don't care who it is, whether it's me or somebody else, when it come down to this book and your soul's salvation, you have to check and make sure that you not practicing respect the person saying, well, this is my elder or my moray. They know what they talking about. I don't have to go check behind them. No, because your elder, moray, or whoever else you learning from, they not going to be standing with you in front of their throne on Judgment Day. It's going to be you. And the Most High ain't going to care what you did or how beautiful you are, how fine you is, because that's what go on too. Brothers be dealing with women sometimes, or women dealing with men, vice versa. The way you act with a person, you say, oh, they handsome, or she fine, so I ain't going to talk to her like this. But you will talk bad to this particular woman. You will talk bad to this man based off how he look or how he dresses or how she dress. That's not right, man. Everybody get the same treatment. because the house one, the family could be the biggest devil you ever met. All right, so we got to deal with the spirit of a person. Understand, going to like what we talked about before, what's in your heart. What's in this person's heart? Can't deal with just the outer appearance. Can't deal with just because the social status that they got, because they got money, you fake then. You want to be in their face because they got a lot of money or they got a lot of material. So that means you not being thorough because of what they got. What are you, a gold digger? You a treasure trove? What are you? Those things shouldn't change people. Deuteronomy chapter 10, though. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 17. It says, for the Most High, your power is the God of gods and Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons, nor taketh reward. He doeth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loveth the stranger, and giving him food and raiment. All right, so we're going to stop there. If we claim that we the children of the Most High, we the children of the light, we sons and daughters of the Most High, you know, we the light to the world. All right, we're supposed to be operating as he does. We taken from our Father. He said he doesn't regard people's person, saying that, okay, what's wrong is going to be clarified as wrong and dealt with as wrong, or what's right going to be clarified and dealt with as right, no matter who you are or what you are. It don't matter if you are the tallest in the world, again, the most handsome, or the wealthiest, or the most funniest. It don't matter. If you do wrong, you're going to get dealt with as it's being wrong. But if you do right, you're going to get dealt with as what comes with being right. Verse 19 says, love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Another case, something that goes in with the respective person. We say, well, because you are Israelite, I'm going to show you more love. Or because so many people say, man, well, we too hard on the Gentiles and the heathens and the nations. We say, well, because you a Gentile, I'm going to show you more love. I know these Israelites hard on you. Man, that ain't supposed to be so either. You are what you are, and you get dealt with accordingly to what has been done. That's for each and every one of us. I'm not immune. Some people want to, you know, and I'm not taking away from the blessings that come with different positions, because the Father put us in positions. He give you favor with, you know what I'm saying, when you doing his will. So I'm not taking away from that. But I'm saying that when it come down to certain, just be real with people. Be real with people. Treat everybody the same, man, as much as you can. All right, because I know that in different dynamics of it, I can't talk about every situation and subject in every form and facet that it possibly could be talked about in. I'm talking about the respective persons tonight in the perspective of that we show favoritism to some people and mistreat others. We listen to some people and close our ears to others based off our relationships with them, or the lack of a relationship that we got with them. Because, again, one of the main things, because of this person is attractive to you, because they can speak good. Listen, when Barack Obama came in with the suit on, people had respected persons off the most say, okay, he looked like us, he talked good, but people didn't take time to analyze what's in his heart. Who is this man? Who is his daddy, and who is he serving? And then he get into the office, and this is the same vessel that's used to put in law that a man can marry a man, a woman can marry a woman. All right, and then even on that subject, something else that happened to respected persons really get brought up. When it come down to homosexuals, listen, I'm not in the business. I'm not the person that's going to be judgmental or whatever. The world then created this wicked mindset in people to feel like when you tell them what the Most High say, you being judgmental. When you say that this person here should be doing this or shouldn't be doing, or that's not right, according to the Most High, not according to yourself. People deem that as being judgmental. But so if I come to tell you, if I say that this man shouldn't be with another man, that's deemed as judgmental from some people. But then if I tell this same person, listen, you shouldn't be working at this job. You should have a higher paying job. It's essence and essentially it's the same thing, saying what you should do. You got something better that you could be doing, something that's more beneficial for you, but that won't be categorized as being judgmental because of respect of persons. We didn't see this thing come to a snowball effect of demons, man. Not snow, but demons. A big ball of demons. To what happened, they just said, listen, don't talk about this community of people and that lifestyle. You don't have to bash them and mistreat them. That's true. But on the same token, neither do I have to pacify these people. Neither do I have to go out my way to make these people feel comfortable in that lifestyle. That's not right, man. But the Most High said he don't regard persons. So it don't matter what's going on, what's popping, what you thinking, what you've accomplished or what you haven't accomplished. When you stand before him, it's going to be, your rights going to be read to you. You're going to say, what have you done? What was right? What's righteous? And what's wicked about you? Let's go to Proverbs 28. Proverbs 28 and 21. I shout out to everybody who's tuning in. I'll go back through the comments, Father willing, at the end of the message. And as much as I can see them while the message going, I will respond if it don't deviate from the lesson itself. Proverbs 28 and 21. Write these down if you can. Write it down. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 21. It says, to have respect of persons is not good. For a piece of bread, that man will transgress. To have a respected person, clearly put, said to have a respected person is not good. Said for a piece of bread, that man will transgress. So you can be bought out. To have a respected person, if they present to you a gift, you will pollute judgment. You won't do what needs to be done. And that's something terrible. Let's go to Chronicles real quick. This is why. To have a respected person is not good. And for a piece of bread, that man will transgress. So for a little bit of nothing, that man will go against the Most High. That man will do something unrighteous. Or that woman will do something unrighteous. 2 Chronicles 19, what I want. Indeed, yep, 2 Chronicles 19. 2 Chronicles 19, I love to go into the OT. We probably going to revisit this, but to get it on the head, 19 and verse 4. 2 Chronicles 19, verse 4. It says, and Jehoshaphat dwelt at Jerusalem, and he went out again through the people from Beersheba to Mount Ephraim, and brought them back unto the Most High power of their fathers. And he set judges in the land throughout all the fenced cities of Judah, city by city. Verse 6. And said to the judges, take heed what ye do, for ye judge not for man, but for the Most High, who is with you in the judgment. Now, that's the importance of it. When it comes down to, whether you giving praise due or, I really don't like that, but when you big up in your brother or sister, you encouraging them. You let them know they did a good job. Or rather, you correct them like, hey, bro, I saw you off with that. It said, be careful when you in a position to make those judgment calls. Because you're not doing it for man. You're not doing it for you. You in the Most High's business. So when it come down, we talking about sodomites, brothers and sisters who in that lifestyle, dealing with their spirit. It's not the person I got a problem with, it's the spirit. You know what I'm saying? But if they yielding themselves over to their spirit and trying to project it on other people, then yeah, I got a problem with the person. But in the case where we dealing with these people say, don't say nothing to nobody about this and that. Man, you get in the Most High's business, man. Be careful with what you're doing. You're going to have to give answer for that. Let's go back to Proverbs, though. It said, for a piece of bread, Proverbs 28:21, to have respect of persons is not good. For a piece of bread, that man will transgress. All right, let's go to Proverbs 18. Proverbs 18. Proverbs 18:5. Proverbs 18:5, it reads, it is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. All right, so in many cases, what we see, it happen a lot of time, the respect the person thing come into play with celebrities. We feel like, okay, because this person is, you know, they shooting the ball, they well known for that. They running the football, well known for that. They comedians, they actors, they rappers, they singers, what have you. Automatically, we allot to these people, and I say we, to not separate myself from our people, but because I'm not immune from these things. I don't do it, but I want you to know I'm not above. I'm not above people. So typically, we just automatically give them honor for that because they on the TV. Had the conversation before. You don't know who these people are outside from what you see them on the court or, you know, performing on the stage or you hearing the music on the radio. So we can't just automatically give these people honor. We got to know who they are and what's in their heart. All right. Proverbs 18:5, though, it says, it is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. So let's get an example of that. Let's go to Mark 15. Mark 15. Example of them accepting the person of the wicked to overthrow the righteous. Mark 15. And I'm going to start with verse 1. And this is going to bring out something else that happens with the reason behind having respect of persons sometimes. Mark 15, verse 1, it says, and straightway in the morning, the chief priest held a consultation with the elders and scribes and the whole council, and bound the Messiah, and carried him away and delivered him to Pilate. And Pilate asked him, art thou the king of the Jews? And he answering said unto them, thou sayest it. And the chief priests accused him of many things, but he answered nothing. Now, keeping in mind that if you read up to this point, we understand that the chief priests and the scribes and, you know, those people who were part of this council, they hated the Messiah. They didn't want nothing to do with him. Verse 4 says, and Pilate asked him again, saying, answerest thou nothing? Behold, how many things they witness against thee. But the Messiah yet answered nothing, so that Pilate marveled. Now at the feast he released unto them one prisoner, whomsoever they desired. And there was one named Barabbas, which lay bound with them that had made insurrection with him, who had committed murder in the insurrection. So at the point of time of the feast, it was the custom for the governor at that time, that being Pilate, to release a prisoner to the Jews. Verse 8, it says, and the multitude crying aloud began to desire him to do as he had ever done unto them. So they presented Barabbas in comparison to Hamashiach, or the Messiah, Christ. Verse 9 says, but Pilate answered them, saying, will ye that I release unto you the king of the Jews? For he knew that the chief priests had delivered him for envy. Now we're going to stop right there. The respected person thing come into play because in many cases, you're dealing with two brothers who got some type of issue, or two sisters. All right, and the person who's supposed to be a voice of reason, or, you know what I mean, to give equity in the matter, making a judgment call, they more so lean into this person or choose the side of this person because they envious of the other person. They already got an evil suspicion about it. They already got out in their mind against this brother or this sister. So when it come down to judgment, it's easy for them to say, no, I don't want to hear what you got to say, or yeah, you need to be condemned, and we're going to roll with what you got going. Because they already got envy for the next person already. And that's what's happening in Israel. That's what's happening in families and households a lot of times. The envious thing, having to respect the persons. That ain't supposed to be so, family. Verse 11 again. Well, verse 10 says, for he knew that the chief priests had delivered him for envy. They was envious of what the Messiah had already done. They was envious of you know, the glory that the Most High bestowed on him. He didn't ask for that glory. You know what I mean? And so even with that, they don't want to see him win, for one, to where now it leads into what we just read in Proverbs 28 and 21. For a piece of bread, they'll transgress. In this case, you ready to kill an innocent man. You overthrowing, you accepting the person of the wicked, Barabbas. Barabbas was wicked. He was a part of the insurrection. He committed murder during the insurrection. You know what I mean? He guilty. But on the flip side, because you envious so much of the Messiah or the next person, you ready to condemn the innocent in order to free the wicked. So what would that person? Wicked, man. That's wicked. Even if, okay, in that sense, we got to be careful, because one day you could be walking right, uprightly. But this is why the battle and the war for the soul, it's not just on the Sabbath, brothers and sisters. It's not just on the holy days. It's not just on Tuesday night Bible study, Wednesday night Bible study. It's definitely not just when we around brothers and sisters who understand the faith. It's day in and day out. It's when you lay down, when you go to sleep. It's when you wake up in the morning. It's when you passing through the breezeway. It's when you at work. It's when you know what I mean, you in the hospital. The war goes on all day. It don't stop. When you take your mind off the fact that Satan wants your soul, and his influences and demonic forces out here trying to get you to fall in the fire, you slipping. If you get off that course, remind yourself, we at war. We at war. And with this war, the respective persons will get people killed. It'll cause casualties. Because you not correcting me, or I'm not correcting you, letting you know, like, bro, we need to tighten up right here. Now, so if you're going to do that, apply that also to the next person too. Some people got respect the person with the children. Because this is not your biological son or daughter, you treating them better, or you treating them less than, rather, because they didn't come for you. But you married that woman, or you married that man. Those your children too. You can't treat them no less because they didn't come from your loins or they didn't come from your matrix. That's not of the Most High. That's not righteous. All right, so the respected person thing, man, we got to have this same, the love that you show. Don't show me more love than the next person. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get the same amount of love. You know what I mean? If you with the snot and you that person who you hardcore like that, or you know what I'm saying, you on point to really check people like that, make sure that you got that same energy with everybody. Don't check me on, you know what I mean, the fact that I got locks. You disagree with that, but then your best friend, you ain't telling him nothing about his locks. You ain't telling her nothing about her locks. Everybody's supposed to get it. Mark 15 and 12 again. And Pilate answered and said again unto them, what will ye then that I shall do unto him, whom ye call the King of the Jews? And they cried out again, crucify him. They hollering it because they envious. Verse 14, then Pilate said unto them, why? What evil have he done? And they cried out the more exceedingly, crucify him. And so Pilate, willing to content the people, released Barabbas unto them and delivered the Messiah when he had scourged him to be crucified. Now, the people couldn't even answer and give reason why they wanted to crucify the man. They didn't give accusations. Pilate, when you look at the different gospels, or Matthew compared to Mark, Luke, and even in John, you will see Pilate saw that, man, the Messiah hadn't done nothing worthy of death. But these people don't even have a real legitimate reason to want to take this man's life. But the respective persons came in because they said, we got to get rid of him, because if we don't, all the people going to flock to him in our positions. We not going to receive the praises of men no more. We not going to have the respective persons from people. We not going to get the high fives when we come into the synagogue and the different assemblies. People not going to reverence us the same way as long as this joker present. Envy is within that. The respective persons, everybody get it, man. Everybody get it. The young, the old, whoever. Everybody's supposed to get it. Supposed to be treated equal. All right, let's go somewhere else, though. Let's go to James. Let's go to James chapter 2. James chapter 2, saints. You got Hebrews, James, and then Peter. James chapter 2. James chapter 2. And we're going to start with verse 1. James chapter 2. It says, my brethren, have not the faith of our master, the Messiah, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. It's clear. So it's letting us know right now, in this faith, if you saying you in the truth, many declaring that they in the truth, shalom, shalom, you know, I'm an Israelite, I'm a Hebrew, I keep Shabbat, holy days, I don't, deal with abominable food. You in the truth. You can do all that, but you will still be in error if you got respect of persons. You still will be in error if you got respect of persons, man. You got people out here who they love to come down on the men, but won't come down on the women. You got people out here that love to come down on the women, but they won't come down on the men. It's not supposed to be like that. I'm going to read it again. James 2:1. My brethren, have not the faith of our master, the Messiah, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. Verse 2. For there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring and goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment. And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool. Are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? So it's saying that you already separated and divided within yourself. You're not treating everybody equally because this man has on jewelry, gold jewelry, he's shining or whatever. Look like they wealthy, they clothes clean and nice. You want to tell them, look, hey man, you get a better seat. But in comparison to that, this person they got on, they might not be the cleanest person. You know what I mean? And you tell them, oh, look, man, you sit over here in one of the worst seats. It said, man, that's not right, man. If they came in, first come, first serve. First come, first serve. If you came in and you the poor person, oh, yeah, you go ahead, man. We got seats available right here. First row, I'm right here on the front row seats if you want front row seats. Front row seats at the game. All right, but the world is not operating like that. And this is what the book tells us. We can't operate like that. Saying because of the gay clothing. Because he got the jewelry on, the gold ring, and the good apparel or whatever. Verse 5 says, hearken, my beloved brethren, have not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? He chose the poor. He chose the less desirables. He chose the rejected. He chose the downtrodden. He chose the one who wasn't so handsome, who wasn't so pretty. He chose those people. Verse 6 says, but ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats? Don't they say, well, the rich get rich and the poor get poor? These rich people, they constantly figuring out ways to get more money, but yet they not going back to, the places that's impoverished. Just like a lot of these rappers, right? The fakery. And there's something else. I know me and Cephas was discussing putting together something far as just the different manifold ways of this matrix that we living in, or the falsehood behind it. All right, in this case, what I'm talking about, you got rappers who would say, okay, we getting millions and millions, right? I'm from the hood, from the projects, whatever. They get this money and then they don't do nothing for the hood of projects. How can you really be from there, knowing how people live in those situations and not go back to help these people? You're not really from the projects then. Or you just selfish like that. But it says, do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seat. They finding out ways to get more money from you. Remember, the internet didn't even have a payment plan for your data. They had to come up with another way to start charging you. At first, the data was free, unlimited everybody. They said, you know what? We can make more money if they reach 2 gigabytes, 3 gigabytes. We slow it down. And in order for it to move fast again, they got to pay us more money. That's oppression, man. That's another form of oppression. They say we're going to charge them for this, that, and we going to, listen, when the bills come in from, the power company or whatever, they charging people for rain on their houses. How can you charge a person for the rain they fell on? We don't control this. Then on there, you got miscellaneous charges. So now you charging me for something I don't even know what it is. It could be anything. It just say miscellaneous. That's oppression. But that's coming down the pipeline from the people who supposedly are categorized as the higher ups. Different ways for them to get more bread off you, and you remain poor. But yet these are the same people that get regarded or automatically get respect allotted to them because they rich, because they famous. And it shouldn't be so. There's error within spirit right there, man. Verse 7 says, do not they blaspheme that worthy name by the which ye are called? Don't they blaspheme the Messiah's name? Don't they blaspheme the name of the Most High? Don't they blaspheme the Holy Spirit with the action and the way that they operate? Quick example. Yeah, we'll go through it right now, as a matter of fact. So Dwayne Wade, right? A lot of people, when he came in, you didn't see his mask. You didn't know what was in his heart. So people get into the sports arena, they looking at it, they admiring him, they love him. He cold, man. Dwayne Wade is the best. Got the jersey, everything, supporting him, his clothes and everything, right? Okay. Years after, is whatever he say, whatever he on, I'm on. That's how a lot of these people move for the celebrities. So years later, it comes down to his son, which I didn't know, but through the study, I ended up finding out his son's original name was Zion. Now, ain't that something? Now let's go to 1 Kings, man. 1 Kings 8. We're gonna get this out the book. 1 Kings chapter 8. Because their whole story, their whole situation really depicted what went on and what's going on with us as a people, the nation of Israel, the children of Israel. His name was Zion. His son's name was Zion. But he changed his name to Zayah as he became a transgender. The boy wasn't number 12. He wasn't older than 15. All right. 1 Kings 8:1 says, then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the chief of the fathers of the children of Israel, unto King Solomon in Jerusalem, that they might bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. Which is Zion. Now let's look at this word Zion. So I'm going to my Sword Bible app. Zion is H6726. 67:26. All right, says parched place. Another name for Jerusalem, especially in the prophetic books. All right, that definition, it says the same regular as H67:25, which we're going to get that. It says as a permanent capital, a mountain of Jerusalem. A mountain of Jerusalem. All right, now it said that it is from or is the same as H67:25. Let's get that. All right, and it says Sion. Sion. Sion, however you pronounce it, nonetheless, which says signpost, monument, market. All right, and these words is important again because we got to pay attention to the spiritual point of it as well. It's not just physical. It's not just physical. So in the signpost, what is a signpost? Signpost. Let me get it. A sign giving info such as direction and distance to near town or nearby town. So it's typically found at a crossroads. I also acts as guidance or clue to an unclear or complicated issue. So the signpost acts as guidance or clue to an unclear or complicated issue. Guidance. Now, that's important because we're looking at the nationality of these people, this family. They supposed to be Israelites, melanated brown people. We supposed to be the light of the world. We supposed to be who's giving direction and light and guidance to the Father. But look who they using. Look who they using in order to misdirect people. All right? Sister V, Shalom, Saint. Our monument is a historical, it's something historical is going to stand out. It's something is going to be remembered. And market is another form to advertise. All right, so they advertise in this lifestyle, this transgender thing, not just to adults, but to children as well. Don't forget about what that came out here recently. With Superman's, the son of Superman is bisexual now. Don't forget that part. Robin, the new Robin, these in comic books. He homosexual. He bisexual, man. And cartoons is really watched by who? The children. All right. Satan ain't gotta respect the person. He like, I want the young and the old. My agenda gonna be pushed to any and everybody. Everybody get it. That's his mindset. We got to have the same mindset when it comes to the truth. When it comes to standing for righteousness. Everybody get it, man. All right. So signpost monument market, says origin from the same as 67:23 in the sense of conspicuousness. All right, that word conspicuous or conspicuousness meaning it draws attention. It's drawing attention. And guess what? That whole situation drew attention. What do we do as a people? When they want to promote something, they use us. They use us to get it popping. Drawing attention. Our story is within that whole matter, family. All right, 67:23. Let me see if I want more on here. Okay, it says compare 53:29. Let me get 67:23 first. Sial or Tsial. Dryness, drought, desert. All right, and that's important because before we made it to the land of milk and honey, when we left Egypt, we had to go through the wilderness. All right, which the definition says from an unused root meaning to parch, aridity, concretely a desert, barren, drought, dry land, dry place, solitary place, wilderness. This is what the Most High brought us from. This is what the Most High proved us at to see if we really loved him, to see if we was really for him in the wilderness. All right, and then from there, he took us to a place where he set us up in the land of milk and honey, the land of Canaan. All right, H 53:29, now sock. Now here it is. It says to excel, be bright, be preeminent, be perpetual, be overseer, be enduring, to act as overseer or superintendent or director or chief. This is the lot that the Father gave his children of Israel. He put us to, he said, man, y'all are special above everybody. Y'all the best. I love y'all. I'm putting y'all in the position, the seat of control. Y'all be my presence on the earth. I'm going to dwell amongst y'all. My spirit going to dwell amongst y'all. Y'all be the light to the Gentiles. Y'all be the light of the world, the salt of the earth. This is what it's telling us. We supposed to be all these things, the overseers, the superintendent, the chief. But what happened in this situation? What happened? We not being that. All right, continuing on, it says within the definition, it says a primitive root, properly to glitter from afar. That is, to be eminent as a superintendent, especially of the temple services and its music. So a whole nother study. Also, as the nominative from H5331, we're going to get it, to be permanent, excel, chief, musician, singer, overseer, set forward. All right, so all those things, that's what we are. That's what we're supposed to be, and they play on that. They understand it. Your enemy understand it about you and use it against you. This goes into the whole thing with Kyrie Irving right now. Him being ridiculed and dragged because of his stance on not getting injected. So you got those who working with the adversary, the coons, whatever you're going to label them, Stephen A. Smith, against it. He not the only one saying that he ain't finna take the vaccine. But they at him like that because of his status. They understand what come with being a superstar. They saying, yo, you got influence. So if you say you gonna get it or you not gonna get it, guess what? You're gonna take a whole slew of other people with you based on your position. Based on society having a respect of persons for Kyrie Irving and who he is. Your enemy understand that. It said these people revere you as great. So whatever you say, they going to do it. All right, but now, H5331. It says eminence, perpetuity, strength, victory, enduring, everlastingness, continue unto the end, everlasting, ever. All these things, that's what we're supposed to be, saints. All right, victory. Again, it says this. So that's what we're supposed to have. Now, that's just all from the definition of Zion, or what his son's name meant with our story being in it. You know, we came from a dry place. He chose us to be special. And the kingdom's supposed to be forever. Isaiah 45:17. Israel will have a salvation, you know what I mean, unto the ends of the earth. I'm going to read it because I feel like I'm butchering it. All right, but look at the word Zayah, because that's what he changed his son's name to. Zayah. Let me get this real quick. All right. Boy. All right, so this is from mom365.com. Meaning of the name Zayah, variant of Zaya, meaning a woman who wins. All right, and elsewhere you will see that it means a victorious woman. So now when we analyze this situation, looking at it from the spiritual standpoint, okay, what woman won? This is a boy who now he's been looked at as a transgender to be called or be recognized as a female, which according to society, how sick it is, he'll be revered as a woman later on. What woman won? Let's go to Revelation 17. What woman won? Because a woman won the soul. It was victory for a woman. What woman? Revelation 17. I'm going to start with verse 1. It says, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Understand this. This great horse is sitting on many waters. We see this clearly when we look at the Statue of Liberty. We look at the Statue of Liberty, it's sitting in the middle of the water. That's not just, some coincidence, brothers and sisters. If you don't know, if this is your first time tuning in, it's not a coincidence that the Statue of Liberty is a female and is sitting on waters. Verse 2 says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Hamashiach. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So this is the woman. Talking about a victory, the woman of victory, a woman who wins. Yeah, say one in that case. Say one in that case with that person. With that man. Choosing to change his son into a female, to remove his reproductive organ at that age, to be classified as a female. All right, so this is another thing. When it comes down to the information, respected persons, these the same information. When we aware of this, we got to educate our children on this stuff too, family. We can't have respected person to say that, well, they children, they can't take it. No, man, we living in a different time. Be real with your babies. Let them know what's going on, man. You know what I mean? Because Satan, he ain't worried about how old they is. He ain't saying, oh, they ain't old enough for me to try to influence their souls. They need to hear from us as parents first before they hear from somebody else. So, you know what I mean? We this is what I'm saying. For us to be on the ball, to not have the respected persons, when they come in with correction, when they come in with, edifying one another, when it comes in or it comes down to, us motivating one another. Don't be partial in it. Let us put that to everybody. All right, let me see. Let's go to Deuteronomy 16. Deuteronomy 1. Deuteronomy chapter 1. Deuteronomy chapter 1, saints. He that have an ear, let him hear. She that have an ear, let her hear. It ain't for everybody. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 16. All right, and it says, and I charged your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him. Verse 17, ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is the Most High's. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. So another thing that goes on with the respected persons of why, true judgment is not executed, or correction rather, is because people are afraid of who they talking to. You afraid of them. You saying, man, dude look like a real killer, or she look like she really can fight or whatever. Or you just afraid of whatever. You afraid of what the other people gonna think of you for being real, for telling the truth. You gotta get past it. Either way, they gonna talk. We talking about the Messiah, man healing people. Dude was born blind. He healed them, and they still found a way out to hate on the man. They couldn't even look at the miracle and say, man, this ain't never been done. so full of envy or concern with the people around them instead of the Most High, till they condemn this man. So respect of persons, as the book says, is not good. Let us not have respect, be showing favoritism to this person because they call on the same name you call on. Saying that, okay, well, you call on the higher, man, I'm going to link in with you more. Man, this same person might be the biggest devil, man. You might be able to link in with another brother who don't even use the name pure. They just say the Most High. You might be able to link in with them more and more tighter than somebody who call on the same name you call them. Respect the person is going to come down to it like now. Preparation for the shortage to come, the famine to come. I'm not talking about it on the level of what we understand it's been going on. That's why GMO is on the shelf. That's why the food tastes like cardboard. You got fake food. I'm not talking about it in that sense. I'm talking about in a sense where literally you can't go to these stores to get nothing. When that come down, respect the person and you need help, that respect the person spirit ain't going to be present in those who operating with it. You going to want help from whoever. If you ain't prepared, you're going to want some type of assistance from whoever can provide it to you. So get ahead of the game now. You know what I mean? To get out of that spirit if you're dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to give everybody the same treatment, man. Everybody treated the same. The Most High not a respected person. That's what he's saying. I don't care who you is. Look at Moses. Everything that he chose Moses to do, he even said that he set Moses up. By the book, he say, Moses was the Most High. He was a God. He said, and your brother Aaron going to be a prophet. You going to be as God, and your brother going to be as a prophet to you. Guess what? Because of his error, he said, yeah, I love you. Yeah, you did all this, son. Yeah. You ain't going into the promised land. You going to see it, but you ain't going in because you did not sanctify me. So the Most High don't care who you is, man. Whoever you are, what you doing, what you got going. If you know, he like, listen, do what I said, man. Do what I said. And that's how we got to move and roll. Let's go to, okay, was a little bit more, but we already hit it. Let's go to Sirach, though. Sirach 42. Because in other cases, the respected person comes in where, you know, parents might feel like they can't get correction from their children. The uncle might feel like who is you, nephew? Man, I've been here longer than you. You can't tell me nothing. But listen, the prophet didn't even see the angel in the path. The donkey saw it. So the truth and the correction, as long as it's from the Most High, it can come from anybody. Of course, again, we're talking about when we present the correction, when we show the love, we do it without partiality. We do it in a way where it is receivable, where it can be received. We do it respectfully, but nonetheless, we do it. Again, because you got some thinking that, man, this person can't tell me nothing. That ain't what the book say, man. All right, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus from the Apocrypha, chapter 42, verse 8. And it reads, it says, be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish. So even if they unwise or foolish, you still can give them some word. Don't just count those folks out and say, man, no, I ain't gonna. You don't look like you will receive the truth, or you don't look like you're going to listen, so I ain't going to tell you. I ain't going to even bother trying to share the good news with you. No, that ain't right. Man, let them, hey, man, bro, you know you're an Israelite. You know, man, we got to keep the commandments and the faith of the Messiah, man. The kingdom is ours, and it's going to be forever, without end. World without end. You know, however they look, everybody get it. All right, continuing, it says, and the extreme aged, they contendeth with those that are young. Thus shalt thou be truly learned and approved of all men living. So even with that, it says also the extreme age, the older people, the elders. You know what I mean? Don't be ashamed to tell somebody who older than you, hey man, that's wrong. Now you off with that one. That's not true. Not in a debating spirit or to cause strife or contention, but just to let a person know, no, that's actually false. You know what I'm saying? Or however you do it. Or they might have done something. They might not know that they are in error. You know, and that's why the Father created multiple people so that you can have your brother and sister to deflect off of, to correct you when you're wrong, to let you know when you off. That's what it says, the body of Christ. That's how the body operates. So in that case, you know what I mean, we got to be able to correct the older people who are extreme age as well as the young. A soul is a soul, not to have respect to persons. You know what I mean? What the older people feeling like, well, you too young to tell me something, I can't receive it from you. It got to be from this person who my age or older. That ain't true. You got a bunch of old fools out here. Got a bunch of old devils out here. And a lot of them like that because they didn't have somebody to correct them in their time period of growing up. Or they had a respected person to where they didn't want to receive, oh, you too light-skinned. You too dark-skinned for me to listen to you. Oh, you overweight, I can't hear what you're saying. Oh, you're not a black person or whatever. You're not a white person, I can't listen to you. That's foolish, man. The Most High, he has sent his word through whatever vessel he chooses. We have to be ready and prepared to receive it without respect of persons, man. So the whole goal again tonight was to address that mindset and the dangers of it, to let you know, like, man, this is going to come into play, father or family, in the long run when we stand before that throne, man. Was you truthful with your neighbors, your brothers and sisters in every aspect and facet as possible? Or was you just trying to come down hard on the people who you had an internal issue with? You didn't like him because your beard couldn't grow like his. So then you tried to stay on him and stay hard on him. You didn't like her because her dresses were more nice. Or just the fact that you felt that, they didn't deserve whatever position they was in, or because this person was your friend from the sandbox. You felt like you didn't want to come down hard on them. If we linked in and we brothers, like we say that, or sisters, it's even more paramount that we check each other. You should be even more open to let me know what's up and what you disagree with. I love the disagreements. Not in the sense where we should always have it, but I'm saying that when I found out brothers and sisters got a different mindset about something that I agree with, it draw me closer to them in a lot of cases, depending on how these people moving, their spirits. If you got friends and family members, you know what I mean, that you feel like y'all always agreeing with each other, it's something going on, brothers and sisters. It shouldn't always be an agreement. That's a partiality or a part of respected persons. We supposed to bump heads somewhere. All right, and those disagreements supposed to reveal to me and you, or our neighbors and ourselves, okay, we learning one another even more. Okay, you don't like this. I know that about you now. So now can we still build with one another knowing that difference? All right, but the respect of persons, man, is a plague. It's a plague amongst us. Everybody get treated the same. Show love to everybody as much as possible. You know what I mean? And if somebody is out of line, or they doing something that's, that you have been commissioned and you can, or you driven to, the Father gave you the green light to say something about or to do something about, make sure you operate like that with everybody. You know what I'm saying? You can't come down on this person for whatever sin or fault that they have hard because you don't know them. You know what I'm saying? And then when it come down to your best friend or your parents or your children or whoever, you're not coming with the same energy. You can't do that. We shouldn't do that. Everybody get it. All right? That's all I got for tonight, though, Saints. Y'all questions, comments, and concerns. Questions, comments, or concerns, or anything that I probably missed. Questions, comments, and concerns. Respect the persons. Questions, comments, and concerns. All right. Not seeing nothing. All right. Well, I pray that the word was edifying. I pray it was strengthening. Pray it was uplifting. I pray it destroyed strongholds. And that it was on time for somebody. You know what I mean? I pray that it was from the Most High. I pray that y'all week moving forward be blessed. Stay focused, family. Understand that we're in a time too where if the Father didn't already reveal a goal and an assignment to you, stay focused on it. Don't allow these different situations where people might try to be a distraction from your purpose. You know what I'm saying? They might try to, it might be some talk about you, you know what I'm saying? Or you know, people talking against you down on, or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And it don't always have to be that. Some people come, it can be the people you love, you know what I mean, that'll distract you from the purpose. Don't allow yourself to, Salakia. Don't allow yourself to be distracted from that assignment. Stay focused. Don't, you know, if the devil can't stop you, his next best move that he can do is slow you down. And time is of the essence. Jeffrey Brown said, I be wanting conversation because I be forgetting. Indeed, Malachi chapter 3, verse 16, that's why we do this. We want to stay engaged in the Father's word as much as possible. Yeshay, a gift for the Most High, said, can I get your email again? Children of the Prophets 144 at gmail.com. Children of the Prophets 144 at gmail.com. Humble servant, Shalom, Saint. Melissa, I don't want to butcher your name. Shalom, though. Prayers of the righteous avail much. Pray for our brethren in this time that we remain vigilant and return to the Most High. Indeed. Stephen Wack, Sheba Regina, Villa Pa, Shonda Clark, Living by the Way, Jemima Little Dove, Joshua Dawid Maccabees, Cotton Talk. Shalom to all y'all. Shalom to California, Living by the Way. Fred Genius. Man, shalom, Saint. Everybody else who tuned in, who didn't comment, who looking. Malachi Hebrew. Shalom, Saint. Hezekiah Israel. Shalom. Everybody who tuned in, Rashida Brown. Shalom, Saint. Peace and blessings to all y'all. Agbama, Shalom, Saint. A highest prophet, Baba Kuya. Man, all praise to the Most High. Shalom to you, Saint. But yeah, family, no respect to persons. The same treatment, because we got to remember what the book told us. In that parable that the Messiah gave with the workers, who he hired at 1 hour, and then he hired the other ones later on, and everybody got the same penny. He hired them for that same penny. So, you know, the Father gave me a little insight or revelation on it. I didn't know what was the whole thing about that. I ain't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, what was they really mad about? Or what's the real deal about it? So what he showed me, what I took from it was that you got those who have labored in his truth, you know, for soul salvation of others, and it just be a light and the salt of the world. This was years ago, decades ago. They've been laboring for years. You know what I mean? They've been at it, you know what I'm saying? And then later on, years later, well now, you know, going on 8 years for myself, compared to those who've been in the fold for 30 years or whatever, Here it is, I done got hired. You know what I mean? And we all working to where later on, you know, preferably my son, my grandchildren, if the father say the son, they be working. But at the end of it, we all gonna get the same penny. And you can't get mad for the ones who was hired early for working, because we know that the times are getting even more and more wicked. So they all got the same penny, and they though they didn't work as long, the ones who was hired later, man, the heat increased. You know what I'm saying? The fire increased, man. I can remember a time where, listen, the spells and the curses and the sodomite spirit that was being presented, transgender wasn't a thing. They did not have a category and jobs making provisions for transgenders. They didn't have that. You know what I mean? Those people with those contrary lifestyles, they did it in secret. So now the time lapsing and it's closer to the end, later in the day, according to that parable, is most spirits and demons that been released. You know what I'm saying? That discerned and kicked out. You know what I'm saying? That these folks tampering with. More and more witches. Society becoming more and more receptive to Satan and Satanists. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. But yeah, the 11th hour, indeed, King. So I pray the word from Oklahoma City, much love. Keep teaching. One Colonel USA, indeed, man. Praise the Most High. Y'all pray for me while I pray for y'all. Excuse me. But yeah, bless y'all. I pray the Most High keep y'all's eyes open, our eyes open, for what He's revealing to each of us individually. You know what I mean? For throughout this week, look for the signs of the Most High. Look for Him speaking to you. You know what I mean? Stay in the spirit. So people be wondering, like, how do I stay in the spirit? You got your man on the Most High. You looking for Him and His hand in your life to see like things that's from Him. They stand out. You know what I mean? He speak all the time. We just have to take time. Be still. Some of us, we done went through a season, or we going through a season where the Father telling us, be quiet. Shut your mouth, man. You talk too much. Be quiet. I need you to be still, be quiet, and listen. Watch. That's where you got some of us at, man. All right. It's beautiful. How you be merciful, knowing what is upon us and what we fight against and what is coming, that those growing up in the birth pains of great turmoil must withstand. Indeed. All right, so because we battling different demons. The demons that the elders was battling with then, segregation. Look at that. We ain't dealt with that. I don't know how I feel to come to a water fountain that says colors or whites only. You don't know. A lot of us don't know how they feel. So they had to deal with the atmosphere and the spirits that was operating in that time. You know what I'm saying? This generation dealing with, okay, what's going on with this music? Again, one of the biggest things, this transgender, this LGBTQ, the contrary lifestyle, we dealing with that community. Murder, violence, just, Memphis was categorized as the #1 dangerous city in the country. You know what I mean? This ain't something that I've seen since I've been living here. You know what I'm saying? Happy Nappy Roots 96. Peace and blessings to you, sister. But nonetheless, family, praying that we stay cognizant and aware. You know what I mean? Get in the word. Read. You know what I'm saying? I know that the spirit kick in and try to keep you like, man, I don't feel like reading. You know what I'm saying? Read, man. Fight that. A lot of time when we get sleepy, man, that's the signal to let you know, do it. That really is. That's the flesh trying to stop you. Like I talk about the fasting. again, man, you know, when people fast, or if it's something that you're not used to doing, or even if you are, the flesh know when you make up your mind. So then when you decide and you commit, you vow, I'm gonna fast today. You could already been on a normal schedule every day. Before the fast, you don't even eat nothing until like 11 and you cool. You don't even feel hungry, no headache, no nothing. But the moment you say, all right, tomorrow from man, when I wake up, man, it's on finna fast. Cool. Man, as soon as you do it, brothers and sisters, the flesh notice, so you wake up with a headache. Or you wake up feeling like you starving. But there's confirmation. There's confirmation of it's working. The fast I do, Saint, I fast, I do a dry fast, you know what I mean? Consuming nothing, according to Jonah 3. But I do understand from my study was that you also have what's a fast in consideration of say, well, I'm only gonna consume this. I'm only gonna consume this right here for this particular time period. And from that, there is power in that too. You know what I'm saying? It's power in it. I'm coming with that from in Second Esdras 8, if I'm not mistaken, where he told him, look, only consume the flowers of the field. You know what I mean? Until this time. Fruit like David, indeed, yup. Do a fruit fast. But we need more of that, you know what I mean, to detach from uh these radio waves. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the most beautiful things about Feast of Tabernacles, getting out into the nature, away from all of these microwaves. You know what I'm saying? The house has become a microwave. The car has become a microwave. And looking at the times again, the cars got computers in it, brothers and sisters. Cars ain't always had no computers in them. So now the waves that's getting pumped out through the Bluetooth. I love music, so there's even more ways. I'm riding, listening to music, the Bluetooth cut on, the computer already in the car. You know what I'm saying? All of this, the spirit need to get away from that. You know what I'm saying? That's the brutal tabernacle. We separate from all that, man. But nonetheless, though, it's, brothers, there's some of us, we in that season to be quiet. That's what I was talking about. Be quiet. We need to do that. We need to get silent. You know what I mean? So that we can hear the Most High speak to us. It's paramount because the shortage coming, the famine coming, brothers and sisters. I want to do, it is my intention to, I would like to do it thoroughly, but just to make mention of it, those who have the mindset to prep to leave these cities and go into, the rural areas or into the wilderness. If that's your mindset, before we decide to do anything, we do need them. You have to make a decision. Are you really wanting to become that pilgrim? You want to move or stay stationary? This for those who stockpiling. If you stockpiling, do you want to stay? You stockpiling to stay where you at, or you plan on moving around? Because if you plan on moving around, then you should already be, or get on the ball in the road for transporting what you stock to wherever you plan on going. You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna be in that house, that apartment, the condo, or wherever, wherever you stand at. And once you figure out whether you're gonna be stationary or a pilgrim, boots is gonna be necessary. Health, definitely got to have the health. A lot of people saying they prepping for the wilderness, they gonna make these moves, but listen, your body gonna have to be in shape for that walking, for that running, for those hills. You know what I'm saying? For those valleys. It ain't gonna be smooth. I'm telling you what I've learned over time, what I'm knowing in the preparation. You can't walk 2-3 miles without getting tired and all that, or mile, you need to start. You need to start getting your body adjusted right now. If that's what you intend on doing. People stockpiling their guns. You stockpiling your cartridges or bullets, your rounds. Listen, You can have 1,000 guns. You can't shoot all of them. You only got 2 hands. You need to figure out what you finna do. You know what I'm saying? They shooting now. When they get to going down, uh, like I'm saying, when it's coming to that, being able to carry brass can be heavy. The brass that the cartridge is made of, along with the primer and the powder being inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff had to be considered. You know what I mean? You talking about carrying you a knife on you, you're gonna need water, you're gonna need food, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna need fire, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna need these things. You're gonna need light. So how can you carry if you're not able to withstand, you can't, you don't know how it feels to carry 70 pounds on your back all day. Listen, it ain't gonna just happen and you just, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden you gotta know. Now is their time. Now is their time more than ever. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? How? These are the things that's going through my head to share with y'all to let y'all know, like, man, preparation. It ain't gonna just be all of a sudden and you can do all things like that. You can do all things through Christ will strengthen you. Yes, indeed. Along with that preparation. Give him something to work with. All right? So I done kind of went off the subject a little bit, but nonetheless, again, I pray the word was edifying, strengthening. Pray the Father be with y'all, that Satan be bound. Whatever plan he got against you and your family, that it be overthrown, that the blood of the Messiah cover your household, saturate your household from the rooftop to the foundations of it. Indeed, all praise to the Most High, Melissa. All out to, you know, in your vehicle, wherever you go. You know what I mean? I pray that the Most High be with you and yours. So with that being said, man, you know, as always, let's say no, man. We won up with this one. Shalom.